How's it going? All right?
Yeah, all good. Thank you. How are you?
All very well. This is our first edition of the Unmatched pub, which hopefully you can see in the background. We did an AI attempt on a pub, thanks to Trent for doing that. And we've tried to get this working, but this is the best size that we've got. So there's much more detail. Maybe we'll have to share the pub on social as an actual graphic with registration details to get this one. How's the week gone, Adam?
Yeah, busy but good. Can't believe we're Friday again. But another week and another week of updates.
Mental. Yeah, another week of updates and some real good ones just dropping. So we're launching this kind of like pub event just so that end of the week, me and Adam get to have a chat, but also kind of bringing you along the journey of essentially all the updates that have happened at HubSpot this week. Lots of that already going on in the ecosystem. Amazing videos and stuff happening already. Thought we'd just take our take Friday afternoon. Hope, wishing that we're in a pub. Maybe there will be beer next time. And giving you a bit of the lowdown of what we think's interesting. Probably last 15, 20 minutes, something like that. See what actually, or however long it takes to drink a pint was kind of our theory. Hopefully go into a bit of detail on some of the updates, but yeah, the plan was just to kind of thrash through a few and hopefully everyone finds it valuable. And so I'll give an introduction to me, I guess. So I'm Matt Freestone. I started Unmatched, my company, I guess. My wife has a bit, but mostly mine. Let's leave it there. I started Unmatched in January 2022. We're now a team of 7. Based out of Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk. We're a diamond tier solutions partner, HubSpot accredited for onboarding. More to come as well on more accreditations. And Adam, I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Yeah, I'm Adam. I joined Unmatched at the start of the year, but I've been working with HubSpot for 6 years. My background's in-house, so I've got good experience there of kind of understanding the challenges that businesses face and how we can solve them with the HubSpot solutions.
Amazing, yeah, and it's good to have you as part of the team. So what we'll do is I'm going to throw up our update screen, hopefully go and seamlessly transition into screen sharing, and we'll go from there. So awesome. So I'm going to flick over to my other screen, otherwise I'm going to really fail with this. So look, let's jump into the highlight. And I did another video on this on LinkedIn. Breeze action in workflows. Adam, what's your take?
Yeah, I think it's the latest evolution of Breeze, and it's great to see it in workflows. And I think the possibilities seem endless with what you can do with it. So I'm excited to try it out.
Yeah, me too. I literally just chucked it into a workflow, did something about job titles, and the response was a bit wordy, so my prompt obviously wasn't very good. This is obviously an absolutely mental update. I think it's going to be really positive. So I think the key bit here about conditional branches based on unclear object attributes, that's going to be an absolute game changer. So like layman's terms, that kind of means, you've got job titles, head of happiness, and all these other job titles that don't have a real category. Breeze is going to be able to categorize that type of stuff for you, so you can easily segment your audience a bit easier. But also one of the main things that I thought was really cool was have this bit, that's the branches, but this bit down here, was the hyper personalization content to insert in automated marketing emails for Marketing Hub Enterprise, which I just that's obviously really good. Another main reason to upgrade to Marketing Hub Enterprise. There's obviously plenty of others, but that seems like an absolute winner. Yeah, so on this one as well, like this one here is a nice use case. I used Ask Breeze to research each company's domain name and return an industry categorization from that. Like, what's your thoughts on that, Adam?
Yeah, I think that's huge because obviously with Breeze like enrichment coming in, we've lost the ability to be able to use the old HubSpot insights to populate some of those properties.
Apart from Stuart's account scout, Stuart Balcom's account scout, we must have a bit of a shout out on that.
Yeah, true. But so we might be able to use this as a bit of a workaround on that on certain properties like industry And I also think the bit where it says about being able to split out on branches, like one of the an issue I've had recently with a client was where they wanted to do one of those 50-50 split branches, but you only get 50-50 split from like 1,000 onwards. So it looks like you might be able to use this for smaller pots of data to be able to split that data randomly even. So
that's a good idea. Yeah, absolutely. That type of thing would work really, really well. I think the bit that I'm keen to understand about this, like researching companies' domain names, like what other data points is it going to come back? Is that going to take away credits, Breeze credits, or is it going to do the credits not get used for that? Like, interesting around to the credits. I think of what that's going to do. But yeah, Breeze, I think finally getting a really good use case. Like the buyer intent stuff's great, but this is this is on a whole new level of usefulness, I think. So definitely the highlight of the week on my end. Nice little one here, tasks in the sales workspace. So in the current version of sales workspace before this beta, it's you head here and up in here in the sales bit, you can't see your tasks there. So people were having to go back and forward between the sales workspace and then your tasks bit here, and obviously have them bookmarked, but still not very quick. So getting more and more useful, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, hopefully that means that also like queues of tasks can be accessed in there as well. But yeah, we'll have to see about that. So this one, make HubSpot essentially all the colors of the rainbow by the looks of it.
Yeah, I was going to shout this one out because I think it's a simple but effective one. I think when some portals, when they've got so much data, it can be quite hard to kind of take it in. But this is quite a nice way of being able to look at a glance to be able to pick out certain bits of data. So I think that's a nice addition.
Yeah, I think this one's really nice. I think the way that you can use this, I think you have to be careful, like not to go completely overboard. Like it can get a bit too much, but a bit like deal tags. If you've got a deal tag on every deal, might be a bit much to read. But I think having like color coded, like red, amber, green, that type of stuff is going to be really, really helpful. Highlighting key bits, so nice and easy to set up. Literally, they've just included a color column in the property builder, which I think I think is really, really good. So you can see that you've got two options as well. You've got this probably very small on screen, but text with a colored dot or text inside a colored badge. So two different options there to actually display. Interesting notes here: colors cannot be applied to pipeline stages or deal pipeline or ticket pipeline properties. So I think that's where they're like limiting it to use deal tags potentially here. So that's obviously must be a workaround because deal tags are on Sales Pro and above. So the fact that all hubs and additions get this one means they're not getting you can't get around not buying Sales Pro if you want a deal tag, I think is by the looks of it there.
Yeah.
Interesting one on sync properties as well. Colors not carried over. Yeah, nice. Okay, that's good. Other bits that we've got here, we're going to call out anniversary filters. So we had a workaround for this using OpsHub that we did for a client that had to look at the first kind of two parts of the date and then just do that. But I think this is really, really good. Adam, have you had time to have a look at this one?
Yeah, I've seen this one. And other than getting regular birthday cards, I think it would probably also be quite good for renewals, I imagine.
Yeah, renewals I think are going to be good. Like if you renew every January 1st, then or whatever date it is, then I think that's that's a really, really good one. Available on all tiers as well. Definitely saves having to copy like dates everywhere and all that type of stuff. I think the fact that you can just have a date set on a company level, for example, and then you're able to do automation off that. It's going to be really good. Cracking update I think for that one. Interesting to see how that plays in with OpsHub, like scheduled workflows as well, like because obviously this is going to schedule on like a yearly basis, that type of stuff. So interesting to see how that works, which should be quite nice. Okay, any other notable ones in here that you want to call out? Obviously we've got like custom remix templates. We haven't started using that yet on our end, but this does look quite neat. Adam, any thoughts?
Just reading this. I haven't seen this one yet. So this is where you can create your own remix template that you can then repetitively use?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what they're trying to do here is HubSpot's got some built-in remix templates where you can be like, create emails from blog content, that type of stuff, and it kind of automatically spits out the bits. But on this one, you can kind of define what your template's going to be. I'm not sure how many levels you can go down. So you can create a tree of stuff. But yeah, the fact that you can actually create, like, if I put a blog in, 5 emails and 2 social posts spit out, I think is a really quite neat update on here. So I think we kind of get carried away a little bit with how much is in the betas. Like, absolutely, there's so much in here, and like, I'm still only gone back 4 days, and I'm on, I'm on page 2 already. There's a whole page of updates already. I think this one here underutilized. Any like list descriptions, like people don't put a description on lists. So having the ability to like generate a list description, I think is really, really nice. I'm going to actually opt our portal into it right now, to be fair. But that's I think that's a nice little update as well.
Yeah, definitely, because I think it is underrated having descriptions against like lists and workflows as well, because it makes it so much easier to search for them if somebody else has created it and they might not have named the list what you've named it, but you can find it by the description. So yeah, good update, that one.
Yeah, I think as well, like with that one, like it just hopefully paves the way to like list properties. Actually, no, you can do list properties, sorry, but email properties as well, like that type. I think categorizing, putting descriptions on stuff. People's portals are getting so messy. Yeah,
that'll be a game changer.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really, really good. Something weird that I saw on here that I've never heard of a client using Google Chat. Like, is that a thing? Like, I'm glad it is, because obviously people must use it, but I've never even considered using Google Chat. Maybe we can get rid of our Slack subscription, but I thought that was quite an interesting one. Like, I'm not sure why you'd want it in there, but because I guess it's the same. Well, I guess it's no different to having Slack integrated, to be fair. But ever heard of anyone using this?
I can't say I have, but there must be people out there for it to be a thing. If people aren't on Teams and Slack, it must be on Google Chat. But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'd think so. I think this one as well, crazy. We used to have an AI, a translation client actually, like a couple of years ago. The fact that you can now just, translate emails, using AI, unbelievable. Like that's a thing. But I guess we are in 2025, and AI is carrying away with us a little bit, I think. So I haven't started using this one. Have requested it, but even HubSpot partners aren't on the front list for this one. Have you seen this on a client account yet? You can put index kind of page reports on. It's actually in the index page. I think it's pretty neat. But yeah, we haven't got access yet. Hopefully we will one day. Please.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see that. Where I'm trying to think of a use case when you'd want to see that report within the index page. But is it just like a report at the top, and it carries on down into
in another tab, and hopefully our contrast webinar tool is easy enough here. So yeah, you just get like this little reporting icon based on the sales pipeline or whatever, and you can put count of deals. I mean, that's quite useful, to be fair, like, because if you've got a pipeline with like dozens and dozens of deals or hundreds of deals in a single stage, then sometimes you can be quite difficult to see like key data points. So I can definitely see a benefit from this. I think the examples given here isn't the best, but definitely could be useful, I think. Okay, nice. And then the other one that I wanted to call out just before we have a look at what's live, right? Obviously you've got this one here about the workflow redesign, and like obviously HubSpot bringing in journeys and all that type of stuff, which I haven't had too much time to play with. But I did encounter this the other day on a client portal where essentially you just press create workflow and it just hops you straight in. Like, have you had that yet?
Yeah, well, it's taken away the option of do you want to do a contact, company, etc. workflow. Yeah, there's just going to be one type of workflow. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I trust it, if I'm honest. Like, I went in there the other day and I was like, what am I doing? Like, why is this, it's simplified, right? I like this. It does feel simplified, which is great, but I don't know, something about it. I'm not sure if I trust it just yet. Yeah, we'll have to get used to that one, I'm sure. Yeah, for sure. The other one that I thought was nice, just because I've been doing lots of forecasting this week as people get ready for the new financial years,
like forecast multiple outcomes using custom date and currency properties. So it's no longer just using the amount and the close date. You can use any date and any number property to do your forecasting now. So,
that's really good.
So if you've got a client who's like, one of our clients uses like intended start date as instead of a close date, because that's when they're actually going to recognize the revenue. This is going to be absolutely brilliant for that. So yeah, really, really helpful.
Yeah, and again for renewals as well. People that are tracking renewals, that would be able to forecast that better by into things.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a note, lots of permission stuff coming in, which is great for enterprise level clients. People who have to lock teams down and that type of stuff. So yeah, I think that's a really, really strong one. Let's have a quick look into what's in development then. Channels API, not something I've been using to be fair, but lots and lots of good stuff in here. Lots of app stuff, and the app marketplace is growing obviously massively. And then required associations to be enforced on Android. Lots of niche nice stuff in there. So let's see what slipped through into live this month. Well, that's helpful. Why is that not in order?
Oh, that second one's a good one, actually. I don't know if you've seen that. I think that's an underrated one, the notification preferences page, because
that's always a nightmare, right?
Yeah, and I think it's actually quite a big one for especially potentially sales teams where they get a lot of notifications from HubSpot, because in the past it wasn't as easy to change your notifications, but it's a lot easier and simpler now to edit your notifications. So if you can kind of pick and choose your notifications, I think it will make HubSpot a better platform for particularly teams that get a lot of notifications, if it quietens down the noise of stuff they didn't want to be notified about.
Yeah, absolutely. Bit of a headache for admins, but definitely a good update for users, I think. Yeah, I think that's really, really strong. What else have we got here? So slipping. Let's can we set this to, why is this release date 26th November, but why is it hovering in February? Very strange. Let's just do like the last 30 days on here. So property, better filtering for property usage. That sounds decent. Okay, just telling you where your properties are on. That's fab. Anything else that we've seen? Okay, that's interesting. I've not seen this one actually. Only released a couple of days ago. Not really been spoken about at all, but help, because we have 3 apps in the App Store. Use Breeze Copilot to compare app marketplace apps. You can now ask Breeze to compare 2 apps. It can help you make a decision about which app to install. That's really interesting. Measures the features and the subscriptions, and
yeah, Breeze is getting more and more useful, isn't it? There's so many different use cases for it now.
It's just so ingrained, isn't it? Like, I think that's the key bit. Like, if you're just coming into HubSpot, like, you can just start asking Breeze anything. Like, probably ask it who the best HubSpot partner is. I wonder who that would say. Probably us, hopefully. No, good. What else have we got? Oh yeah, like this one. I saw this one the other day. So for customers using the customer agent, which is HubSpot's Breeze AI thingy, and this kind of goes into your chat bot on the website. This is also what HubSpot's support agent runs off right now as well. They recently told in their kind of earnings update, they managed to, I think it was like, deal with like nearly 50% of tickets with it now, which is actually crazy. HubSpot keeps improving their support. So what you can do is you can essentially feed the customer agent PDFs, HTML, TXT files to actually train it. So it doesn't have to just be trained on web pages. You can actually train it on your internal documentation and all that type of stuff, which I think is really, really good. Start feeding it interesting stuff. So that's kind of a bit of a highlight, I think. So last 30 days, how many pages? Oh my God, we're on like 60 pages. We're not going to go through these because that would be absolutely wild. Anything else that you've used that you want to highlight? I think the one that I did like was the Sales Hub in Outlook. So a lot of our clients use Outlook, but the fact that you can get Sales Hub in your Outlook calendar now, that's a winner, I think.
Definitely. I think any improvements with the Outlook integration will be very well received by the Outlook users.
Yeah, I think if they can keep doing more and more of that, that'd be very, very helpful. So what we've got here, Meeting Assistant in the workspace. So I don't know about Meeting Assistant. Like, I've used it a couple of times and it's not as good as like a tool like Fathom, right? Like Fathom's just on a new level of useful. Whereas I know this is kind of prepping based on like AI insights in your CRM data, but I don't know. I haven't found it that useful just yet, but maybe I'm not using it right.
Yeah, there could be one to watch in terms of with Breeze getting better and better. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to the same level as Fathom.
Yeah, I hope so. Like if HubSpot can attend the meeting with you and record, then I wouldn't be surprised if they buy Fathom at some point, to be completely honest with you. I think that is probably be a really good move. Combine that with this and Breeze, I think they'll be on to a winner. I was going to say about this, what's coming in here with the meeting assistant and also the calendar but for Google. The bit that I really wish it had is like having the because you can do like set what happened in like the meeting outcome, but you can't set the meeting type in there. And that's the bit that I think all salespeople always forget to put in. Like, what was the meeting type? Was it a discovery call, a progress meeting, whatever it was? You can't put that in there yet. So I hope that's like another level of improvement. Is kind of my hope for that. Okay, I did mention this one on LinkedIn as well, or filtering on single object reports, actually making them more useful. So I think that's quite nice too. Brill. Some bits being sunset. So the most notable one that's been sunset, I don't know if it's been sunset yet, but the scoring properties are being sunset very, very soon, like old scoring properties. Did you ever used to use them, Adam?
Yes.
Yeah.
I assume that because of the lead scoring kind of taking its place.
Yeah, and I think, don't get me wrong, I like lead scoring, but it's on Marketing Pro and above. And I don't know. I think it's a bit of a sell, to be honest, into Marketing Pro, which great tool, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I would be quite keen to see scoring properties stay in there. So nothing else notable by the looks of it, but lots of good updates here so far in February. So let me stop sharing and come back to the studio. So what's your hope for the rest of Feb, Adam, for what's being released?
One update I'd like to see is within feedback surveys.
You've been doing a lot of surveys recently.
I have been doing a lot of surveys, and I think anybody else that's been like had a lot of that spent a lot of time with it will appreciate the pain of like not being able to say reorder the subset of questions in the logic. For example,
yeah.
You have to delete them and reorder them. So I think any improvements within the feedback surveys would be welcome. And I think I have heard whispers that there are going to be improvements to that this year. So I definitely welcome them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, even the fact that it's really clunky of like creating the property whilst you're building out this question. And it's like, compared to a tool like SurveyMonkey, it's not quite there yet, right? But it's super, it's good. And but it's not quite there. And obviously, look, it's one part of one hub within HubSpot, whereas a tool like SurveyMonkey's been going like 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. I think it can only get better, but as you say, it is decent as it is. But I think there's definitely room for improvement there.
Yeah,
I think the other one that I can kind of think of with what I've been working on this week is the logic within conditional properties.
It'd
be great to add like more than one level of logic, so you could say if this and this.
Yeah, some and/or filters, but within conditional logic, that would be insane. Yeah, I think that would be really, really good. I think for me, I've been doing quite a lot of like lead pipeline building, all that type of stuff. And I still think, we're finding that, or at least I'm finding that clients, their sales teams will still create a deal like straight away. There's nothing you can't actually stop a deal from being created on a contact that hasn't got a lead yet. So if you're trying to enforce the lead process to say becomes a contact, becomes a lead, becomes a deal, you can't enforce that. You technically probably could, you could just delete the deal every time they create it, which might be a bit heavy-handed. Probably drive some salespeople insane, I would say. But
yeah, it'd be good if there was some kind of pop-up if you're associating a deal to a company or something where there's no lead associated, then it kind of says you should just be a lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other one, one of my team will be particularly happy with me saying this one out loud is, you know, and obviously we spoke about it earlier, was creating lists of contacts that are associated like really easily without having to do like a hacky kind of, you know, hacky workaround. Well, say workaround, but it's just a little bit fiddly, right? Like you have to go, hey, give me a list of contacts associated to companies with this label, whereas just give me a list of labels, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be so nice to be able to filter within just like deal view of association labels, and make it more accessible, because they're really powerful, but like you say, it is a bit clunky to be able to filter around with them.
Yeah, you have to create a list and then add it to the deal view as a filter, and you have to actually, isn't it like, even then, if you then want to show deals or something, you know, something without the label, you have to actually create 2 lists and then -1 from the other, and yeah, really clunky. So no, good. Well, I think that's kind of it for this pub. We finished our pint, what, 20 minutes, I guess. So maybe it's time to go home and get one. And yeah, so we're going to try and make this, what, like we say, like a weekly thing every Friday?
Yeah, I think today shows there's enough updates to be discussing it weekly. So yeah, maybe we'll have to do it with an actual pint one time.
yeah, we'll bring client on and do that as well, and get some other thoughts and get some special guests. Maybe Ringo will attend, the office dog, at some point, and yeah, get a few more on there. Cool. Well, look, have a good weekend. See you later.
Yeah. Cheers, Matt. Bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye.